Okay, so it's been a busy Intel day, and it gets that way. The last 2 days have been. It gets that way. The more cruel. Hang on. The more cruel and nasty and creepy Charles gets. Charles is a human trafficker, Charles Perry, and thinks he has sold me, and has been trying to deliver, and he has escalated because he's getting desperate to deliver. Human trafficking is a violation of the 13th Amendment that prohibits slavery and servitude. Mr. Perry, you're a lawmaker, you ought to know the law, aren't you? Okay, so my boss, Mr. Perry's been trying to get a hold of my boss by backdooring it, by bribing people, by paying people off. He wants to get me fired. And he's trying to false arrest me again, which we've said that. He threatens me with death, false arrest, destitution, kidnapping. I mean, every single day, over and over, all day. And then asks me for information as to who is leaking. So I'm not told how information is obtained, and I don't want to help him. And he knows that I've said it over and over and over and over and over. I don't want to help him. We all want him gone. Him and the terrorizing that he does. So we have had no problem getting help with information about what crime he is planning against me next to try to coerce delivery and intimidate. And he can't get my boss's name. He cannot get even one name. There's hundreds of people working on this case, Mr. Perry. When I get information, so do they. So when you type in my phone, we're blocking you from communicating to the outside world. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The guys are getting the information out, and they won't tell you who they are, and they won't dignify you with even a phone call. No one likes you. Nobody. I get that you guys in your little room of strange-o, y'all have yourselves convinced of a different reality. That's fine. You're not getting the information we are. You're not getting the help we are. We are getting the help to shut you down and to ruin you. The guys ruin crime and criminals to relieve the suffering that it causes. We are ruining you. It's just that you're not all there due to your Huntington's disease, and you don't get that's what we're doing. But you're seeing things happen you've never seen before, which we told you would be the case back in 2016. You're about to... You got away with heinous crimes all your life. Not this time. Not this time. Watch this. And every day, you're seeing things you've not seen before, like we find out what you're up to before you have a chance to do it. And once you talk about it and express intent to commit a crime, you state that you know it's a crime. You state the method you intend to use to commit the crime, the injury you intend to cause. Here's my motive. I want to get her delivered. I want to make her do something, XYZ. Something she doesn't want to do. I want to make her be a prostitute. I want to make her be my slave. I want to make her do this against her will. We're going to make her our slave. We're going to collect money once we deliver and enrich ourselves. Then we're going to pimp her out and enrich ourselves. And we're going to use tax dollars, the citizens' money, that is intended to prohibit that kind of thing. We're going to use that to do it. So, with intent to coerce and intimidate, to deliver a person in an illegal servitude, slavery, human trafficking deal that we made with Larry Hughes, the realtor from Houston, who doesn't want me now because you guys beat me up so bad I look terrible. And so now you want to trade. And we have all that information because any other victim have that kind of information before you have a chance to deliver, sir, or details about what goes on inside your compounds that you said were homes for unwed mothers. Only the girls keep getting pregnant, and they're just cranking out baby after baby after baby after baby. And they're not, they're suffering abuse and neglect, medical neglect, education neglect, nutritional neglect. They're severely, severely abused. One of the guys told us when they got mad at what you did when you took my college, when you interfered with federal funds and you interfered with my college education, you have no idea the people you pissed off when you did that. All of a sudden, here it came. I've been too afraid to talk about this, but I'm so mad now I'm not afraid anymore. Here's what you need to know. Those compounds smell like a sewer. The one south of Houston does. Smells like the sewer. Because those kids are shitting all over the floor from being sodomized. They're pimping those kids out. They're pimping them out. One lady was screaming and crying while her kid was getting raped. And they told her, quit crying. He'll get used to it. We'll get him a toy. We found out later that kid died. He was only 1 year old, little over 1. He was raped until he had a perforated bowel and he died. So, also there's dead bodies out in the back, aren't there? So you're smelling shit and you're smelling decomposing bodies, and I'm sure that's lovely for your customers, your clients to come in. This is not Heidi Fleiss type of high-end escort service. This is, they pick trash somebody they think, we don't think they're trash, but you do. Somebody they think is trash off the street, some teenage runaway you dug out of a ditch, or somebody you beat down until they just have nothing left, which you're trying to do to me, which means all those people are hostages. They're not there of their own free will. All those girls and their children are hostages. They're not there of their own free will. Because look what you're trying to do to me, even with the help I have, even with the backup I have, even though you know you're being investigated, and we're quoting you guys every day, and every day we find out what crime you're trying to plan next. Here you go, you do it anyway. So if you would do it to me, absolutely you're doing it to these other girls, and they're not there of their own free will. And CPS needs to go in and investigate the abuse, the neglect, the medical neglect, the nutrition neglect, the education neglect. Where's their paperwork? Some of them don't even have birth certificates. So some of those kids we know good and well don't exist on paper. And if Judge McClendon, is investigating or doing diligence and he was doing some fact finding, he needs to look into that and have CPS go into the compounds and produce the paperwork. Where's their birth certificates? Where's their social security cards? Where's their nutrition records? Where's the medical records? Where's the education records? Put it up. Come on, put up or shut up. We need to look at these kids for being abused. Anyway, so the baby dies. You guys tell the mother. Tell everybody you just didn't clean the house and they got the flu. Symptoms of the flu and a perforated bowel are kind of similar. But after, and then we hear after that whole horrible thing where she's listening to her kid, her 1-year-old little baby, still in a diaper, still with a passy, little tiny fingers, little tiny toes, get raped until he dies. She had to listen to that. He's screaming. She has to be held down. We understand. Then, after all that's over, she was told, we heard Gordy told her, look at the mess your son made. Go in there and clean it up. So she herself had to clean up his blood, excrement, and bowel. That was everywhere. They said it looked like a homicide scene. It was a homicide scene. If you have a crime, so you got the baby is raped at the Houston compound, but the baby doesn't die till he gets back home in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Now you got 2 crime scenes. That's really what you have, 2 crime scenes. That's how law enforcement looks at it. You got 2 crime scenes. Okay, you have to prove me wrong. You had 3 chances when I sued you in civil court to make me prove my case. And you went chicken shit all 3 times. And you did a backroom deal with a judge where you had an ex parte hearing where I wasn't there. And both parties are supposed to participate and the burden of proof is on me. And you went coward. And it's embarrassing that you did that. You could have made me 3 times to prove my case. Put evidence before a jury, put witnesses on the stand, question you on the stand, and cross-examine your people, cross-examine your witnesses, and then let the jury decide. And 3 times you went chicken shit because you're a pussy and you're a coward. There's 5 of you with 5 seasoned attorneys against 1 woman with not a lick of law school. In fact, I had 1 year of Bible college and that was it. And you couldn't even handle that. So when you go around and you wave your head around and you're arrogant and you're proud and go, she can't prove it, people are starting to really get mad at you for saying that because they know that's not true or you wouldn't have gone chicken shit. You went around, oh, she's just crazy. She can't prove it. She didn't have a claim. Well, I do. Because what's the harm in letting me show a jury evidence I don't have and talk about a claim I don't have and act like a crazy woman in a courtroom so you could prove your claims, sir? Now, you are to prove us wrong or you are to shut up. You're to prove us wrong on fact, with supporting evidence, not by murder, not by retaliation, not for interfering with my son and I or his health care or mine, not by poisoning me, not by putting drugs in my drinks, a diazepam or whatever, not by kidnapping me, not by force, not by false arrest, not by using tax dollars for your financial enrichment, sir. Not by intimidation, not by bullying. You have forgery, sir, not consent. I do not like you. I rejected you and I left. You're not my cup of tea. You're not even close. You don't fit into my crowd at all. My crowd is Mercedes, not ghetto. My crowd is normal, not weirdo. My crowd lifts the heavy off of people. You impose it on other people. Okay, my people have helped people not have to live with guilt. I feel guilty now because I just did something I know is wrong, legally and morally, because Mr. Perry told me I had to, or I'll be the next one false arrested, and I'll be the next one murdered, or I'll be the next one kidnapped and raped, or I'll be the next one who suffers job loss and destitution. He's all about the threats and the bribes. Okay, you don't have consent, you never did. And you are to stop misrepresenting that fact. I moved then in November 2013 to the Dallas area. Here you come chasing me and Dennis and attacking us there. So we come to Oklahoma. Here you come chasing us around, attacking us again. I did not introduce you to my family. Sure shit, not my son. There's no way I would have taken you around my family. Not a gun to my head would I have done that. You had them lie to me about it. You had them take my son and put him in danger. And now he died. And God brought him back. But he's suffering. Today we hear that you guys had the doctor giving him wrong antibiotics. And I guess some other doctor found out about it and flipped his shit. And I said full spectrum antibiotics, IV. And they were throwing a fit about it. I hear my son is an Albuquerque Presbyterian, but he wants to be here, where I am. Or someplace where his dad is or where his brother is. If he's in New Mexico, that's fine. But if Mr. Ziegler's supposed to protect him, that was the only reason we said it's okay if he goes to New Mexico with Steve Ziegler. If Steve Ziegler can't get it done, then I need to, don't you think? I'm supposed to protect my son. You're interfering with my ability to do that. My boss will put you in jail. I don't care what lie you tell yourself. There's a reason I'm finding out what's going on with him, even though you think it's okay for you to interfere with my ability to care for my own kid after you murdered him. You did murder him. He did flatline, and the doctor brought him back. So you did kill him. The doctor brought him back. And you've tried again many times. In fact, if you're interfering with his medical care and telling somebody to give him the wrong antibiotics so he doesn't get well, that's another attempted murder. And our judges and our guys are looking at it exactly like that. That's what it is. Now, if Judge Egan can't get her head out of her ass and protect my son, and she's interfering with the protection of my son, or any other judge for that matter, or Steve Kunstwiller or George and Keith, they go to jail with you. They don't get to decide that. Our guys do, because they're getting the intel. We decide what to do with it. There's hundreds of people who get the same intel. They get the same thing I do. Okay, you little pussy? You think you're tough picking on women and children? Why don't you do it in broad daylight where the whole world can see how tough you are picking on a woman? Okay? You want to show you're tough picking on women and children? Do it to my face in broad daylight. But you don't have to stand 500 feet away. My guys will take your head off. They will shoot you in the head if you get any closer than that. But just yell it. Because you like to show how tough you are picking on a woman instead of a guy your size, your age, in good health. Or an invalid in a hospital. Or a little old man who's dying anyway. When you get to prison, good luck with that. That's your reputation now. Good luck with that. So we start finding out details about your compounds. You got one at Atlanta that the guy said if she escapes, she's going to have to get past 6 to 10 miles of land. And then they bought the neighbors 20 miles all the way around. So if she runs to a neighbor thinking she'll get help, she will not. They get paid a fuck ton to bring them back and hold them hostage against their will after they tried to escape. That's a hostage, if ever there was one. So then you changed it to Kentucky. And you're supposed to deliver tonight, and you didn't because I found out again. You keep trying to do another false arrest. You had the bench warrant of last night. What happened is apparently Judy Parker had this, And she starts getting in trouble for depraved indifference of human life, right? When my son dies, whenever that is, it's likely he'll die from the injuries you caused him. And that is going to be murder in the first for you. And for Judy and Judge Egan, it's third-degree murder, and they will go to jail. You have my word, I promise. My guys are not taking any prisoners, and they are not playing games. This is a person's life. We care about life even if you don't. If your lie is more important than my son's life or anybody else's for that matter, that's your problem. We don't see it that way. Most of the world doesn't see it that way. That's why we get the help with information and you don't. And I know pretty much what's going on with my son even though I'm not there. There's no order that I've seen that says I can't call my son anytime I want, but I'm hearing there is one. And my guys go, as far as we're concerned, they're interfering with protecting life, and they go to jail. We'll arrest them right along with Charles. If they think this is so cute to hook up with people that heinous and that depraved, they get the consequences they just signed up for. They signed up for the consequences that go along with it too. All of them do. The job is relieve suffering caused by crime. That's all law enforcement is supposed to do all day long in their job. So my guys are very committed to that. That's their mantra. That's their mission statement. And if you don't like that, that's your problem. You don't want your toes stepped on, get them out of our way. That's our other belief. You can either help or you can get out of the way. You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. You're either part of life or death. And once you make a choice, you live with it, and you live with the consequences that go with it. And that's all there is to it. They don't care who you think you are. They don't give a shit, in case you missed it. So we hear, Judy says, like, I'm done with it. Once we really say, listen, this is going to be a charge. You have our word, we promise. It will be a charge for Liz Egan. It will be a charge for Judy Parker. It will be a charge for anybody and everybody who kept me from my son, from protecting him. Because he kept saying, I need my mom here. She always knows what to do. They kept saying she's a savant. They kept telling me she always knows what to do. How does she know what to do? She has help. I need them here. I need her to help me. I need my mom. And your response is, Dennis, let go of your mom's teats. Oh, you gonna project your mommy issues onto my kid after you try to murder him? You just don't want that protection because you want access to him so you can kill him. And whatever judge allows you access so you can kill him and keeps me from him is going to have some problems with the law that's telling me you're doing that. Okay? I wasn't supposed to know there was anything in Judy Parker's court. So it gets kicked to Farmer. Farmer's like, we find out, okay, well, I don't want it. It goes to Jim Hansen. I'm like, well, Jim Hansen fucked up the first one. There was no probable cause. You had to meet two criteria. First one is, there's a false police report filed. Well, nobody collected my evidence and nobody investigated because Charles Perry obstructed justice and destroyed my evidence, and TPD gave my police report right to the offender. And that police report was supposed to be private and confidential until you go to court. Nobody collected my blood to confirm or rule out attempted foul play, arsenic poisoning. Nobody collected it. The way Charles is, he's a drama queen. Now I got to do my sob story, whiny little song and dance. Somebody done me wrong song. And I like everybody to pat me on the back and do poor me. Oh, poor Charles, poor guy. So if he was not poisoning me, he would have made sure there was a blood test. And he would have taken the results that said there's nothing in her blood, and he would have done a media sob story bullshit show like you have never seen. But there was nothing like that because he knew it would have showed positive for arsenic. He was trying to murder me. They haven't stopped. They haven't stopped trying to murder Dennis. But because I'm not there to protect him, I have protection. I'm fine. I'm not in the hospital. I'm not dead. I'm fine, despite your best efforts. Right, David? Right, Gordy? You guys talk to the grocery. You talk to the restaurants. Y'all like talking. You like talking. You like repackaging. Poison his stuff and repackage it and put it on the shelf. And if she pours it out, sneak in her house in the middle of the night and put whatever's open, put something in that. Rat poison, diazepam, sealant to close up my sphincter and my bowel, something to make me blind. So here's the thing too, the judges that sign off on investigatory orders, one of them pointed out, he goes, here's the thing, if she's having problems with sphincter closure and bowel obstruction, she's having to take a laxative or something, she's having to do measures to counter that, and they're trying to make her blind, and we're hearing them talk about it, there's a lot of recordings about it. Then what happened to Dennis? He's got a gastric bypass and he lost his right eye. Lost it. It's gone. So they definitely are trying to kill them both. And Dennis's injuries were a subsequent event. It's not from the turpentine. It's not from the original event. It is from a subsequent event, and there's been about 5-6 of those now. Write them up as 5 to 6 different events and charge them for each event. And everybody preventing his mom from being with him, so that would not have happened. That includes these 2 judges. So the judge signing the investigatory order said that in a hearing that you don't get to know about because you're the offender. You're offending people. So last night we hear that so it goes to Jim Hansen, and I'm pointing out, listen, there was no probable cause. There's no false police report. Nothing was investigated. They obstructed justice and by physical force prevented and delayed me from giving evidence to the cops and reporting their crime. Title 18, 1512. Title 18, 1512, right? It was cross state lines. I'm reporting a crime in Oklahoma where I live and I'm domiciled. I rent a house. I work there. My son's enrolled in school there. And Mr. Perry, you don't butt in my business. You'll wish you hadn't done that. Okay, what I do is none of your business, and don't stick your nose where it don't belong. Do you understand me? Yes or no? You don't butt into my business. He starts typing in my other phone like he thinks this is a phone call. I'm recording a podcast in the privacy of my home. He shouldn't know a damn thing about it. This is not a phone call. You are to mind your own business and you don't stick your nose where it don't belong. There's nothing in my life that it concerns you at all. So every time you do that, you're going to get me intel because it pisses my people off. It pisses them off a lot. People start talking when they get pissed. And you got nothing else in 15 years but that. That's what's real to me. Monster. So they didn't have a false police report. There's nothing there. There was no proper collection of evidence. There was no investigation and then a police determination. It wasn't even a week. I filed it on January 21st, 2016. They have me arrested on the 29th of January for filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job as a senator. And they did that in Lubbock. I didn't file a police report in Lubbock. I filed it in Tulsa. Mr. Perry and Mr. Powell and Mr. Burson are unable to identify Charles Perry's legislative duties because killing people and stalking a woman in a strip club in Oklahoma is not what a guy does to pass laws in Texas. It's not at all. So they are not able to identify his legislative duties or crime or what's the difference or what state he legislates in. It's not Oklahoma. Okay, so some of these people are confused over there in Lubbock. There's some confused people. And where's the evidence of a political vendetta? See, Charles is a stalker and a rejected, delusional stalker. He always comes where I am and attacks me. It chases me all over the place. And attacks me. And attacks me again. And attacks my kids. And thinks it's okay to human traffic, and it's not. He's living in delusion. And tells people we're married. Nope. You imagine that, and you imagined your political vendetta, and neither one are real to me, and forgery is not consent. It is crime. Just one more crime. There's so many, though. It's one more. You just embarrass yourself, and you seem to like that. You seem to enjoy embarrassing yourself. That's not my problem. We get the intel either way. So then it gets kicked to Judge McClendon. Judge Kirkendall ruled, I guess, I need you guys to leave her alone for a couple weeks because she's got these harassment emails of 2017 where she's telling her attorney they're going to send me home, harass the hell out of me, then complain that they're being harassed every time we get caught, every time she talks about it. And these are from 2017. And she said, it looks like that's what you're doing. You keep going where she is. You keep calling the cops and asking them to pull her over. There's a lot of car vandalism here. There's a lot of this and a lot of that. So I need you to leave her alone for a few weeks so that I can rule out provocation and entrapment. And you guys went, do it more. And you did it more. And then we got more. I got a lot of emails, Charles. We got a lot of recordings. We're up to 9 million, a little over 9 million right now. The more cruel and nasty and creepy you get, the busier we get, sir. Been that way for 15 years. That's a decade and a half, sir. A decade and a half, and all that money you paid out didn't even get you one name. I got 110 names of your people I have never met. I don't know Horton Gordy. Never met him in my life. Not that I know of. I don't know Jeff and Billy. Never met him in my life that I know of. I don't know Damien and Bethany or Beverly or Sonjay or Victoria or Kiki or Doug and Garrett or Larry Hughes or Betancourt. I don't know these people. Okay, those are your people. To the best of my knowledge, I've never met them. They never came and said, hey, I'm Beverly, and I work for Charles Perry in his human trafficking business. That's never happened. Betancourt has, I guess, come to my work, but the guys told me this is Mr. Betancourt. He did not tell me that. He did not tell me that at all. So, who's Rudy? Who's Rudy? Charles. Okay, I don't know that guy. That's your guy. 110 names to your none. Because you just don't understand. People hate your guts for what you've done to me and my kid. They hate you for it. And for every day that I'm with my son, not with my son, and every day that you make me broke, and every day that you rape me with your voyeurism, and every day you're bothering me and causing problems and loss for me, and every day Mike Neely's in jail, you're going to have some problems of your own. You've, like, never before in your lives. Who's Lucius? I've never met Lucius. Okay, so here's what happens to the woman whose baby was raped to death. All of a sudden, she and her husband start coming into my work. They're 19 years old. They have no job. They're spending money like crazy. They're coming in every other week and spending about $1,000. We got wealthy businessmen don't come in and spend that much. And we're like, wow. I'm like, do you mind if I ask what you guys do for a living? And she tells me, oh, we have a sugar daddy. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't too much longer. She comes back in, and she says, I want a job here. I want to get out from under the sugar daddy. I said, sure. So I hand her an application. And Hunter, Shane Cook, the one that liked to poison. Remember when you guys were giving me arsenic? He is working at Lady Godiva's behind the bar preparing those drinks. And then I go to Sensations, and here he comes. He's at Sensations. In 10 years off and on, I work at Sensations. Never did anybody get sick from being drugged or poisoned. Never, until he gets there. Then all of a sudden, we got girls getting sick. We got customers getting sick, and now I'm getting sick. The DJ's getting sick. What are the chances that's just random coincidence? Here's the thing about good law enforcement. They do not believe in coincidence. They do not. Okay, so what's up with that? Mr. Perry, you explain it. Anyways, so they're coming in, and he comes over, and she can't work here. And I'm like, why not? Too heavy. You see that girl over there? She's twice her size. She works here. Well, she smells bad. I didn't smell anything. Well, he takes her application, throws it in the trash. I looked for it again. I couldn't find it. So what'd you do with it? Why is it you don't want her working with me? What are you hiding, and why are you hiding it? Why am I not with my son? What are you hiding, and why are you hiding it? You did something illegal. You did something you know was wrong, and you just want it covered up, and it's not going to be covered up this time. You're going to jail. I promise you. I have my word. So is Judge Egan and any other judge or any other person that's keeping me from my kid, because you're still hurting him, and I'm trying to make sure you're not gonna. Now, Steve Ziegler, I trusted that he would keep him safe, and he's not. Why is that? Why is he not keeping him safe and on the right antibiotics? Maybe he's trying. Maybe he is doing his best. He's not me. He doesn't have the team I have. Okay? So he can't, even if he wants to. But you're going to pay for what you've done to him, and it's going to hurt you. I promise you, have my word. We want to ruin you for doing that to him and everybody else you've done it to. And Mike Neely and CJ's baby and Lucky Miller and everybody else you murdered and you raped and you robbed. And you thought it was funny. We're fixing to see. After we're through with you, I'm going to come see you in prison. And I'm going to go, is it funny now? You little bitch. You sick little bitch. Now is it cute? You thought it was so cute to do that all day long to people who did nothing to you at all. I moved twice not to have any conflict with you and no conversations with you and nothing. Okay, you repulse me. You repulse everybody. That's why you can't get a name and I can. Okay, you people are disgusting to the rest of the world. Why can't you understand that? I don't understand what's so hard about it. There's a reason everybody else doesn't run around acting like you. Okay? So she's trying to get a job so she can get out from under this sugar daddy. Well, I'm like, okay, well, that I'm trying to help her here. And Huntress interferes. No, she can't work. Well, we got some heavy girls here, and there's one over there working here, and she's not half as heavy as that one. So I'm sorry, but I disagree. I think she could work here. I think